What's going on, everyone? I hope that you're doing well. And today I wanted to do a follow up reading for Hayden Panettiere. And so, in this reading, the first one I did, I did it that early that morning that I found out she had passed away. So, it was the morning of the 17th that I did it. But I also want to do a follow up reading of just a few more questions on her since some more things have kind of come out in that, in the information as far as I did see where they said that they're kind of having the DEA kind of look into her death now. So I kind of want to look into just a few questions. Basically, I kind of want to just see in the first row, was Hayden set up as far as did Brian or anybody else allegedly, possibly give her something more than she would have expected that could have led to this, or um, just any energy like that around it. It just was there any foul play any way, shape, or form in her death? And then the second question I'm going to kind of ask is, um, what else do we need to know about that as far as will there be any future charges? If so, what can you expect from them? But what I kind of feel like, and this is what I'm starting to, in the first reading, I kind of kept feeling like I was on the floor, like in the bathroom crying, but it kind of did make me think of like the Matthew Perry case. And so it does make me wonder if this is going to be similar to Matthew Perry, or if it's something going to be different. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and start shuffling and try to get straight into this reading now. So again, I just want to kind of look into, was this a setup and what can we expect from it in the future as far as is there going to be any charges or anything like that. So, as far as all right, so the first card to come out is the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is going to play in the dark and the light. They play in light energy and dark energy. So this is going to be your water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but this kind of leans more towards Pisces. But it is just kind of, you know, again, that playing in the light and dark energy, keeping secrets. So why is that here? Who is the High Priestess and what do we need to know about that? Why is it here and what does that have to do with whether your death was set up or accidental? All right, 1 second. Card fell. All right, strength. So again, strength brings out the Leo card. She is a Leo. So again, I'm not really feeling still like from the first reading, I'm not really feeling like anybody made her take it or made her do it. So she still seems to be carrying a lot of responsibility for her own action in the reading that in this reading so far, as well as she did in the first one. So why is strength in reverse here? Um, so far I'm picking it up as she's saying that her own energy played in the dark and the light. So what else do we need to know about that as far as did anybody set you up or was this accidental? Did anybody set this up or was this accidental? All right, so you got temperance in reverse. So temperance in reverse is again fire energy and water energy. So she keeps bringing out a lot of fire and water. So it's like she's kind of again showing me that her energy did go back and forth between being stable and then also kind of playing with the um, addiction traits, like kind of playing in that energy a bit. So, and she was very honest about that in all her interviews. So she did say that she did that she went, and to me, she kind of came across more as she explained, like she was more kind of like binging, I think. So that's kind of the energy I get in these two. So as far as the day of, is there anything that we need to know about that? Is there anybody else's energy that you feel is responsible or no, I don't. Again, I feel like this is a very like I kept kind of playing with fire and then, I kept playing with fire and then it just collapsed. Everything exploded. Everything kind of just collapsed in on me. So I knew like if I kept doing these kind of drugs or I kept binging the way that I did, that something could happen and I just couldn't avoid it anymore. Like you couldn't avoid the collapse of the tower anymore. Over here it seems avoided, but it's not. It's like I couldn't avoid it. Why is the tower here in reverse? It says, yeah. The Seven of Cups is in reverse also. So this is making choices. This is making decisions. This is looking at all these things. Again, water, energy, kind of weighing out the good and the bad and how it makes you feel. This card also came out in the first. So again, I feel like whenever she would get into this stage of like looking at all these good and bad things that maybe she feels like were not only dealt to her, but she also maybe dealt herself, it would kind of send her into that depression stage again. It's like she would kind of maybe pick the wrong choice and do something that wasn't the best decision for her. So I don't see anybody else. Like, now this could be her boyfriend energy saying, yes, we were equal in the fact that we were doing it together. I do believe that 100%. You can see on a lot of these interviews, they kind of seem like they're under the influence of the same drugs. So with the Seven of Cups also in reverse, what else do you need to know about that? Why is that here as far as making a decision and a choice? The Magician. So yeah, like as above, so below. I created my own foundation. I created my own world. I created my own reality. So again, there's nobody else here except for maybe right here. And she's saying we were eye to eye. We were doing the same thing. So yeah. Is there anything that we need to know about the future of this as far as, is there going to be anybody charged, convicted? Is this like a Matthew Perry kind of situation as far as like maybe a possible drug dealer in that situation? Or is it going to be like closer to you as far as that? So the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, they might go ahead and charge somebody in this case. That might be a possibility. So we're going to go a little bit in because the Wheel of Fortune is taking a chance. It's also like trying to create change in a positive way and hoping that it works. So I think that would be nice. I think that's going to be a way of finally like showing people what Hollywood's really like. What happens to you when you get there, especially when you come in as a child. So I think that that is a good thing for them to try to charge somebody. Let's see what the Wheel of Fortune here. So they're going to take a chance. They're going to hope it's going to work. Is there a good chance that this person will be charged and anything will come from this? Is there anything else we need to know about that? So the Page of Cups. So it's going to rely heavily upon, very immature, like kind of connections, testimonies, statements, things like that. Again, it's heavy water energy. So in reverse, a lot of these people are probably going to be drug addicts, going to be heavily using. So trying to trust their word is going to be hard. So I think that's going to be sifting through that with the Page of Cups and just trying to make those introductions to these individuals and into that world. These people are all shady people. They play in the dark and the light. They're not going to tell you the truth. So why is the Page of Cups here as far as what can we expect for that? So with the Nine of Swords in reverse, the Nine of Swords in reverse does give some answers and it does give clarity, more of it. So I do think that there'll be certain things that will be revealed as far as what happened to her and how it happened. And I do think that people will start to see that more about this relationship and maybe, as far as to whatever, possible narcotics that were involved, it'll show you very much like, yes, this relationship was one of the downfalls of her, but I don't think it's what, like, I don't think he flew her out there to do this, in my opinion, to her. And then with the Queen of Swords here, there's somebody who is going to make sure that she kind of speaks her truth and lets everybody know, like her legacy. You know what I mean? So I do think that she's going to have some justice come from her death, and it could be like some kind of new charge, like that's written into law, like if you do this, then like Hayden's law kind of thing, could be, who knows. But it does feel like something will probably more than likely happen. And the Nine of Cups, so yeah, it's like something, this is almost like, look at all these things that I've done through my life, and I kind of want you to finally look at them and appreciate them with me. So this is almost the energy of like, learn from what happened through my life. I had some, bad things happen in my life, but I also had lots of great things. And I want you to be able to still look at those things and almost celebrate them with her. So, watching her movies, listening to her songs, if you enjoy her songs, things like that. But that's how you remember her. That's how you spend time with her. That's how you get that clarity. So, but as far as, again, if anybody made Hayden fly to South Carolina and go to this place and take this particular drug, and, to make this happen, I would have to say no. I think that it was a choice to fly there. I think she knew what she was going there for. I think that was the purpose of it. And that I don't think it was to die. That just unfortunately happened. But I do think something will come from it, some type of positive feedback as far as like, again, a law or just, people remembering her in a positive way. So yeah, that's going to be the updated reading for Hayden. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hype it, and then share it with someone who you think might like it as well. So y'all take care, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.